Okay, let's return to our top story tonight and our talking point on India at 9. The controversy generated by an anchor, yes, a TV anchor from New Zealand who has created a diplomatic row. The big question that we are going to be raising, should the racist New Zealand anchor be sacked? Joining us now, our special panel, Tom Vadakan, spokesperson of the Congress, Sam Miller, former journalist with the BBC, Karan Thapar, senior journalist, Padma Rao, the South Asia Bureau Chief of Der Spiegel. Remember the question we are asking, should the New Zealand TV host be sacked for his racist remarks? We'll play out some of those remarks that he's made on television shows in a moment, but I want to raise that question with you right at the top, Karan Thapar. The New Zealand anchor, the kind of statements he made about Sheila Dikshit, suggesting that her name suggested that somewhere India was, dare I use the word, a shitty country, are serious statements, aren't they? India was right, justified in seeking an apology from the New Zealanders or not, Karan Thapar?
I think India has overblown the whole matter. Frankly speaking, this was intended as a joke. It may have been distasteful. It might not have been the sort of thing that makes you and me laugh. But the fact of the matter is that the world over, people do play with surnames. Now let's be honest, Rajdeep. College students in India have been making jokes with Mrs. Dikshit's name for decades. And she probably thrives on the popularity it gives her. I recall one of her namesakes, J.N. Dikshit, a former national security advisor of this government, saying publicly at a party that he's been blessed with a name that can twice be mispronounced and made mischief with. And he added, on both occasions, whenever that happens, I benefit from it. No, and that's the spirit in which we should have taken it.
Well, so but look at it, Karan, the bottom line is, this is not the first time this gentleman Paul Henry has made similar comments. He had problems with the former Governor General Sir Anand Satyanand, said he did not look or sound like a New Zealander. This man seems like a racist, and you can't have racists on TV. There's nothing. It's not an innocuous remark. It's not a funny remark. Cyrus Brocha passes funny remarks, but they're not racist. Here is a racist. Can we allow a racist to be a television anchor, Karan?
Well, first of all, it's not in your power and mine to dismiss him or to sack him. Secondly, I don't think his employers are going to take your advice or mine either. And when it comes to racism, it's a dreadful, despicable and absolutely, totally objectionable thing for anyone to be guilty of. But let's first remember that we in India are probably amongst the most racist in the world. Ask the Africans what we call them. Habshis is what we call them. Ask our own northeastern people. We call them Chinkies. And then remember, today, the Ugandan delegation is furious at the manner in which they've been treated and the cavalier indifference of the organizing committee in responding to their people being injured. We haven't apologized. We've been asked for an apology by the Ugandan sports minister, but I don't recall anyone in India offering an apology. So let's first look at ourselves before we start throwing stones at others.
Okay, let me bring in Tom Vadakan at this moment. Tom, why is then the Congress party, the government making, according to Karan Thapar, you're making too much out of this? That it's an innocuous statement, according to Karan Thapar, and if it is racist, then similar charges can be made against India. Do you think Karan is not realizing the gravity of what was said? Why is it that the government is so agitated?
This is essentially a program that was shown as in a national broadcaster medium. This is in public domain, and this talks about India. There's a chief minister involved. This is not a question of jokes or humor. You see, Karan is trying to call it sense of humor and all that. It's not that India lacks any sense of humor. Yes, there is sensitivity. What is happening to in Australia is an indication. If the foreign minister of this country has taken offense to it, it is the right step in the right direction. The message must go home. Don't tinker around with racism, especially when there's a Commonwealth effort going on and there is an attempt to bring all these countries together.